Today, the topic is sociology as an academic discipline, as we know that sociology is the systematic and scientific study of human society and social behavior. Although human beings have always reflected on social life, sociology emerged as a distinct academic discipline in the 19th century in response to rapid social changes brought about by industrialization, urbanization, and political revolutions. As one of the youngest social sciences, sociology examines the complexities of social institutions, group dynamics, and cultural norms, offering valuable insights into the structure and functioning of society. And today, sociology is a dynamic field that intersects with many other disciplines, contributing to a deeper understanding of both individual and collective life. First of all, we will discuss the origins of the social sciences. As we know, the emergence of sociology as a distinct academic discipline came relatively late in the intellectual history of the social sciences. I would like to say that the social sciences emerged as systematic efforts to understand human behavior, society, and the functioning of social institutions, evolving in response to major historical shifts such as industrialization, urbanization, and political change, and, among the earliest social sciences was economics, which evolved in the 1700s through the collection and analysis of data for taxation and business purposes. Later, history was formalized as an academic field in the early 1800s, followed by psychology, which originated from the disciplines of medicine, philosophy, and education. Anthropology, on the other hand, took root as Europeans explored new continents and encountered diverse societies in the Americas, Africa, and Asia. Now we will discuss the birth of sociology in Europe, as you know that sociology was established as a separate academic discipline in the mid to late 1800s in Europe, making it one of the youngest of the social sciences. Initially, sociology was hardly distinguishable from political science, with early sociologists writing extensively about political matters outside of formal academia. As a discipline, sociology began to attract scholars from a wide range of academic backgrounds. For instance, Emile Durkheim and Max Weber studied law, Charles Horton Cooley was trained in economics, Lester Ward in biology, and George Simmel in philosophy. So, this interdisciplinary origin shaped the richness and diversity of sociological thought. The next point is development of sociology in the United States. Sociology grew significantly in the United States alongside the expansion and modernization of higher education. In 1876, William Graham Sumner at Yale University taught the first recognized sociology course in the U.S. The University of Chicago played a pivotal role by establishing the first graduate sociology department in 1892. By 1910, many colleges offered sociology courses, and by the 1940s, full-fledged sociology departments had become common across American universities. The subject was also introduced at the high school level in 1911-12, showing its rising educational importance. Now we will discuss sociology in Europe and the impact of world wars. While sociology developed in Germany and France during the same period, it faced severe setbacks during the world wars, especially under Nazi rule, which was hostile to the field. Many prominent European sociologists were either killed or forced into exile, primarily to the U.S. After World War II, European sociology was revitalized by scholars returning from the U.S. with new perspectives, thereby solidifying American sociology's global influence in theory and empirical research. I would like to further elaborate the point is that after the end of World War II, there was a slow but determined effort to revive sociology in Europe. Many European scholars who had studied or worked in the U.S. brought back new theoretical approaches and empirical techniques, contributing to the rebuilding of sociology departments and research institutes across Germany, France, and beyond. This post-war revival allowed European sociology to reclaim its intellectual heritage while also integrating global perspectives, paving the way for renewed academic dialogue and the eventual rise of diverse schools of sociological thought across the continent. Global expansion of sociology is the next point of discussion under the topic sociology as an academic discipline, as we know that the 1970s marked a significant period of renewed growth in sociology across Britain and Europe, as well as around the world. In Germany, most universities now offer sociology degrees up to the doctorate level, with various institutes supporting academic and applied research. In Japan, sociology was initially introduced in the late 1800s through German influence but came to be shaped strongly by American theories after the 1960s. And, in India, the roots of sociology can be traced to British civil servants and missionaries during the colonial era who studied native societies for administration and missionary work. One of the forerunners, Thomas Robert Malthus, was a political economist at the East India Company's College. Thus, formal instruction in sociology began in early 20th century India, and today the subject is widely taught, with several prominent research institutes engaged in sociological inquiry. The next point is institutionalization and professional organizations, as it has discussed earlier that sociology has matured into a dynamic field with numerous specializations. The American Sociological Association, ASA, was founded in 1905 with just 115 members. By 2004, it had grown to nearly 14,000 members and over 40 specialized sections addressing topics such as family, law, religion, sexuality, emotions, work, and aging. Similarly, the International Sociological Association, ISA, had more than 3,300 members from 91 countries by 2004. The ISA's research committees covered over 50 specific thematic areas, highlighting the global and interdisciplinary nature of the field. The last point of discussion is that, interdisciplinary influences and contributions, sociology has always overlapped with and drawn from other disciplines while contributing to them in return. For example, Herbert Spencer, an early sociologist, used the concept of structure, which has since been adopted in fields like anthropology and political science. Many sociological theories and methods underpin the practice of social work, and sociology has helped to shape social psychology, a hybrid field that bridges psychology's focus on the individual with sociology's emphasis on social interaction and influence. And further, I would like to say that, in recent years, even non-traditional topics such as human-animal relationships have become a part of sociological inquiry. Sociologists like Alger and Alger, Arluck and Sanders, and others have developed this emerging subfield. Courses on animals and society are now being offered at universities, reflecting the evolving and inclusive nature of sociological exploration. To conclude this topic, I would like to say that, sociology's journey from a marginal offshoot of philosophy and political science to a full-fledged and respected academic discipline reveals its remarkable adaptability and relevance. Its global growth, interdisciplinary nature, and expanding areas of interest make it a vital lens through which to understand human behavior, social structures, and cultural patterns. From education and economics to race, gender, and even animal studies, sociology continues to evolve and illuminate the intricate relationships between individuals and society.